Today is Tuesday, February the 6th, and with it being a Tuesday, you guys know the drill. We're basically going to get in here and we're going to get something accomplished. Over in the community tab, I mentioned to you guys that I have been using homemade laundry detergent now for over a year, and I asked you guys if you would be interested in an updated little tutorial where we kind of sat down and we talked about it, and I explained to you guys what I've learned over the process of this journey, and you guys said absolutely. So let's go ahead and let's jump in and let's talk about that. Going into this, I do want to put a little disclaimer before we get into the video that I am not a commercial laundry detergent maker. I am not a chemist. I am not a dermatologist. I am Brooke that lives in Oklahoma in the middle of nowhere. So these are my true thoughts and opinions. Take of it what you will. I have learned that homemade laundry detergent is a very controversial topic, believe it or not. It's like, it is up there with politics and money. It is a heavy topic. So with anything that I say today, please take it with a grain of salt. Do your research, and the best way to really know if something's going to work for you and your family is through trial and error of trying it for yourself in your home. So in my laundry detergent journey, I have discovered 3 things that are major topics that we should probably talk about firsthand. The first thing is if you want to save money, you are going to have to sacrifice time and effort to make detergent at home, opposed to being able to go into the store and pick up a jug of laundry detergent. My solution to this problem is that when you make this recipe, go ahead and make 2 buckets at one time. That way when you go through one bucket, you will have a backup on hand and you won't be scrambling to get through that pile of laundry, but have to make laundry detergent first. So that is the first thing that I highly suggest to you guys. The second thing that I want to discuss with you guys between store-bought and homemade detergent is you're going to run into a consistency issue. When we buy laundry detergent from the store, we're used to it being a very pourable, thin liquid. When you make it at home, it is going to be more of a jelly, gelatinous type of mixture. And the reason for this is commercial laundry detergent, they add additives to keep everything solidified and together. When we are making it at home, we are not chemists, we do not have those additives, so our things tend to separate, which is totally fine. It is not a necessity and it doesn't affect the performance of the laundry detergent. Me personally, I do not mind pouring it into my washer and it being gelatinous. I find that when the water does hit it, it all dissipates throughout the load and everything comes out fine. I have never noticed buildup on my clothes from the laundry detergent, and I think it's worth mentioning that 90% of the time I do wash my clothes in cold water, so it's not a cold water versus hot water situation. And the final thing that I want to mention to you guys is fragrance. When you buy store-bought laundry detergent, they're normally packed full of tons of fragrance products, which can be the #1 reason that your skin may be irritated if you're using commercial laundry detergent. If you make it at home, you can really control the fragrance and take out a lot of those skin irritants. Now, something that I want to mention to you guys is that smell does not mean clean. In the great words of Martha Stewart, for something to be clean, it doesn't have to have a smell. I think as a society, we have really associated fragrance with clean, and that's just truly not it. So you can really play around with the laundry detergent. If it bothers you that it doesn't have a smell, I think I've kind of bridged the gap, which I will show you guys a little bit later, of how you can maybe get the best of both worlds. But if that doesn't bother you, then forget what I'm saying right now. Alright, so let's talk about everything that you're going to need to make this laundry detergent. Everything that you see in front of you was about $27. If you take my advice and double this recipe, you will need 2 buckets, so it will be a little bit more, but obviously you can reuse your bucket time and time after again, so that initial investment will pay off in the long run. This bucket back here I picked up from Walmart. It was about $5. The lid is sold separate, which was about $1.98. And what's great about this bucket is even though it is plastic, it is BPA free, so you don't have to worry about any toxins seeping into your laundry detergent. You're going to need to pick up a ZOTE bar, some super washing soda. I have some borax borax back here. And over here I have some plain dish soap. And I have some Arm & Hammer scent beads, which is totally optional. You do not need this to make this laundry detergent. This is just an option if you want it to have a scent. So let's go a little bit further and let's break it down even more so I can discuss with you what the purpose of each and every single one of these items are in this recipe. So when it comes to your ZOTE bar, this is $1.62. But to make our laundry detergent, we're only going to use 40 cents of this bar. So we're at 40 cents to begin with. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about the ZOTE bars. And the reason for this is that if you look at the ingredients in a ZOTE bar, it contains beef tallow. And if you're unsure of what beef tallow is, it is basically fat that is rendered from meat. Now, what I will say is that if you look at commercial laundry detergent, there is fat in your laundry detergent. And you might be thinking, why would I want to put fat into my washing machine? And the reason that we're doing this is that fat is a natural degreaser to stains, and it helps to lift stains out. So when you look at a commercial laundry detergent, while they don't use beef tallow anymore, they do use synthetic fats in their laundry detergent. I personally don't mind using the beef tallow, but if that is something that bothers you, Dr. Bronner's also makes a soap bar like this as well that is plant-derived fats, so that is something to keep in mind. When it comes to the ZOTE bar, you have two options. There is a pink one and there is a white one. The difference is that the pink one has dyes in it to color it pink, and the second is that it is fragranced, where the white ZOTE bar is fragrance-free and it is dye-free. Now, the white ZOTE bar does have a smell to it because of the beef tallow. But I promise you, it is not a fatty smell. It really reminds me of an ivory soap bar. Moving forward, let's talk about our washing soda and our borax. When it comes to our washing soda, we're going to use 38 cents worth of this. And for our borax, we are going to use 18 cents of this for our laundry detergent. Now, the purpose of your washing soda is that it's going to help deodorize your clothes, and it's also going to help brighten your whites and brighten your colors. The purpose of the borax is it's going to help remove stains, and it's also going to help neutralize odors. What I love about both of these is that they are dye-free and they are fragrance-free as well. Our next ingredient that we're going to add into our recipe is some dish soap. And you may be wondering, why are we adding dish soap to our laundry detergent? Well, one of the major complaints that I hear from people who make homemade laundry detergent is they feel like there's not enough suds, and they feel like the clothes aren't getting cleaned because there's not enough bubbles to really help lift all the stains out and get all the dirt and the grease, so on and so forth. And I do agree with this, which is exactly why I started adding dish soap to my laundry detergent. What I like about this Ecos brand is it is free of dyes, it is free of scent, and it's also plant derived. So every single thing in this dish soap is derived from plants. There's no harsh chemicals, there's no synthetic fillers. You can pick this up at Walmart for about $2.73, but we're only going to use half of the bottle, so we're going to use $1.36 worth of this dish soap. I did mention in my last laundry detergent video that I suffer from psoriasis, which is a skin condition, so I'm really trying to cut out all of the harsh chemicals, which is why I chose to go with this brand. But if you're doing it to save money, you could probably use whatever dish soap that you want, but just keep in mind of all the chemicals that are on the back of the bottle. You can usually find them there. And the very last thing that we're putting into our laundry detergent, which is totally optional, is some laundry scent beads for a fragrance. Like I said, if it doesn't bother you that there's no fragrance, you could totally omit this altogether. I picked this up at Walmart for $5.44. I'm going to use about half of the container, so $2.72. What I like about this Arm & Hammer brand, the light one in general, is that it is paraben free, it has no heavy perfumes, and it's dye free. So another option, if you didn't want to use the scent beads that I is I have used 100% essential oils. I know there are a lot of mixed feelings about putting essential oils into your washer and into your dryer. Personally, I was not experiencing any negative issues when I was doing that. The only issue that I came across was it was hard on my wallet because 100% essential oils can be pricey. So if you're looking for a way to scent your laundry, this is a good alternative. If, like I mentioned, you're not trying to do this for health reasons, you really could use any scent bead that you wanted to. Just keep in mind that if you use ones like the Gain scent beads, that your laundry detergent will have a greenish tint to it, so on and so forth, depending on which scent bead that you use, which is why I like using this one because it is dye-free. So let's jump into mixing up our laundry detergent. The first thing that I did was I cut my ZOTE bar down into 4 equal pieces. So I took 1/4 of that bar and I went ahead and I grated it on the thin side of my cheese grater just so that my flakes would be a little bit thinner. I took 1 cup of water, put it in this pot, put it on the stove, and brought it to a boil. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our soap and put it into our water. And you're just going to take a whisk and we're going to stir this up until all of our soap completely dissolves into this water. After I use my whisk and get it incorporated the best that I can, I like to go in with an immersion stick blender, and I really like to blend the heck out of this. Once you get it blended, it's going to resemble almost a white paint. I really think that using the immersion stick blender is really the best way to go. I feel like it helps the consistency of your laundry detergent a little bit better, but it's not a necessity. It's just a preference that I like to do so that I don't have to have so much of an arm workout. Okay friends, so I had to move you down to the floor so you could see a little bit better. I have my bucket down here and I went ahead and I boiled 30 cups of water. And I had that added down here in my bucket. I had to do mine in batches because I don't have a pot big enough to boil 30 cups of water at one time. So in the meantime of boiling this water, my ZOTE bar has kind of thickened back up. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ZOTE bar added to this bucket, and we're going to go back in with our immersion stick blender and we're going to get this mixed up for a second time. You guys can see right here what I was talking about, that ZOTE bar has really thickened. So I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and get this completely added to this bucket down here. Now that my mixture is blended for a second time, I'm going to add 1/4 of a cup of borax. Next, I'm going to add 1/2 of a cup of that super washing soda. Moving on, I'm just going to eyeball this part, but I'm going to add about 1/2 of this container of dish soap. And lastly, the final step, I'm going to eyeball this part as well, but I'm going to add about 1/2 of a bottle of these scent beads to my mixture too. I'm going to go back in with my immersion stick blender and I'm going to get this mixed together for the third and final time. Friends, it is that simple. It took maybe an hour of my time considering I had a lot of water to boil, but for all this laundry detergent, it cost us $5.04, and I don't think anywhere you go you can beat that price. You're definitely getting the most bang for your buck making it yourself at home. Now this is truly a 5-gallon laundry detergent recipe if you double your recipe in the same bucket. However, I don't like to do that because the bucket gets too heavy for me to carry, so I like to divide my recipe into 2 different buckets, but it's preference. You guys decide what's easier for you. Now before we head out, there's a couple more things that I want to show you guys. Now this is just a small mason jar that I keep with my laundry detergent, and when I do a heavy load of laundry, I typically fill this all the way up, which is equivalent to 1 cup. But if I'm doing a smaller load, I'll probably only do about 1/2 of this jar, which would be about 1/2 of a cup of laundry detergent. Now you can totally start using your laundry detergent right now, but as it sets, it will thicken up. I wanted to show you guys, I went ahead and pulled this straight from the bucket, and you can see when I pour it, it is still very thin, so letting it set overnight is probably the best thing to do. After about 24 hours, it really does thicken up. This is some laundry detergent that I had made for my mom, and her scent beads that she chose was different than mine, so hers does have a tint to it. But I wanted to show you as I pour this out, because it's been setting for about 24 hours, if you guys can see how thick and gelatinous it becomes, which, like I said, doesn't make a difference in the performance of the laundry detergent. It is just a thicker consistency. But like I mentioned, I've never had an issue with this clumping onto my clothes, no matter if I ran it through a hot cycle or a cold cycle. Well, friends, that's going to wrap it up for today. I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. I had a blast with you guys as always. Be sure to check out that description box below, because I will have this recipe wrote out for you guys, and I will put some links of where you can find these items on Amazon if that makes shopping a little bit easier for you. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, please do not hold me accountable. What works for me may not work for you and your family. I am not a doctor, I am not a scientist, I am just a mom over here in the corner of YouTube trying to help you save a little bit of money on this journey. But until next time, I will see you later, my friend. Bye.